Ren died.
Oh yeah, that was the best scene in the entire volume thus far.
The best scene. By the way, I'm recording now.
Easily.
Hot redhead gets double penetrated by busty blonde and
like dead ass. I'm not gonna lie.
First thing,
like filming,
and that's the first thing that they. And that's the first thing that the audience hears. Wow.
No, like
I had to make it creative.
This sounds like there's two of you, Luca.
Really?
Sounds like they're.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're echoing like you're echoing like these nuts. Yeah.
Oh.
Man, 2000s.
Okay, is that better?
12 called. They want their
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had my mic enabled on Rabbit. That's why.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, now that you fixed it, the world.
Okay, so are we ready?
I'm
Give me
ready.
a sec. I gotta get a blanket on and I gotta smoke some crack.
Well, you can't wait for you to smoke your illegal drugs that you may or may not be in possession of.
Okay. Well, I'll get the blanket on and then we can start.
That we can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I am ready now to die.
Okay.
This is it. The Union's making their play.
This is it.
This is how the war
Home
begins.
stretch. I'm so excited.
Aren't we all? We're all excited now, as Tom would say.
Yeah, because he keeps making those Soldier 76 jokes, and I hate it. That little rat. I'll ice him quick. I love this opening. I don't care what anybody says. It's my favorite opening in the entire show.
3 minutes and 30
Time to say goodbye. Would like to have a word with you.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care, Nebula.
One of the. I love this intro so much. Like when I first saw this, I'm like, holy shoot, we
I like
actually
the-
might get a quality volume.
I like the actual like intro animation. The song, not so much.
Oh, I love this song.
I like the song.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't care if like Molly will like tell me like if Molly tells me like, oh, it's a bad song, I'm like, okay, it probably is, but I love it. Like, you know, I'll agree with you and whatever you want, but like I love the damn song so much, and the intro itself is actually really cool.
Yeah, the intro. Yeah, I'll agree with you. The intro is cool.
It's kind of funny where Adam like puts his sword in like his like in his sheath and he's like standing confident. It's like that's where you're gonna get stabbed, fam.
That's where you're wrong, kiddo.
That's probably how they foreshadowed it, actually.
If so, I mean, that also aligns with my theory of the cinder like cigarette shot that I mentioned in the chat a while ago. God, I missed when this volume was good. I really do. Argus is the dropping off point in quality.
No, for
How
me, I
long
mean,
is this 30-25 minutes? Oh, hell
23
yeah.
minutes. It's
What happened to her? Wait, what happened to her scythe in that scene? Whatever. I'm not gonna rewind to go see it.
Wait, it's nighttime? I thought it was daytime. Oh wait, this
What
is
the hell?
well. Oh, is this where Cinder and Neo are?
Wait.
No, this is probably Watson then.
Ah,
No.
called it. Oh my God, Neo. Neo looking fine as fuck
Ooh,
right now.
Damn, that redesign though.
Oh, and it's Henry's waifu.
Oh,
It's both of Henry's waifus.
Oh, both of them. All right.
bro, look at him.
She's looking,
Look at my queens.
she's
Look
looking
at how
skimpy as
gorgeous-
shit.
To Solidas.
They actually look really cool. I
Yeah.
like this.
No boots.
Yeah, I'm glad she got rid of that peasant outfit that she was wearing.
Look at.
I'm glad she got rid of that stupid dress she was wearing. Oh my god, that was so dumb.
Oh,
Oh, she can just do that?
that's neat. Oh, and I see Cinder got a new mask as well.
And yet they
Yeah.
still went with like the underpowered emerald version. Nope. Apparently she can't do that. No, she can.
Yeah, okay.
You know, Neo, someone once asked me if I believed in destiny.
Oh, Pyrrha callback.
And I'm happy to say, I still do.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of cool. And now
Okay.
we're not going to see him for the rest
Yeah,
of the
for the rest of the
episode.
life. Oh, it's Gojira! Gojira!
It's the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. He's
It
coming
really
to
is.
revenge. It literally is. Look, he's going underwater now.
Wait.
Wait, why?
How deep is that water? I am genuinely.
Yeah, that's.
We're getting slammed by hostiles out here. Where is Cordova?
We're getting slammed.
This is your fault. Do you hear me?
She's not wrong.
Get it.
Oh, there they are.
Blake, are you okay?
Please kiss. Please kiss.
Wow, Yang and Blake, you really got over that whole killing Adam thing really fast.
I know, right?
Yes,
Yang I can understand, but
and we just
Blake.
ruined the only thing capable of stopping it.
Oh, damn
oh.
it, Weiss. You
Oh,
can't
Weiss
do
owning.
cheesy
She's
80s
owning up
romances.
to it. I applaud that.
If only one of us had a Deus Ex Machina bullshit power that auto-killed me, that it slips out.
Yeah, for real.
Season finale can't do that yet.
Sam, what's your status? We need an answer. Over.
I'm so sorry. Don't be. This is
Please,
Mama,
You're safe.
just kill
just
the
kiss.
man.
That's all that
Kiss the
matters.
Got a
cat.
sword right through his chest.
Please, just make.
Aw,
please, just
okay.
Make this
All right, wholesome moment right
Wholesome.
there. That's wholesome.
wholesome.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's
Please
adorable.
but please, Rooster Teeth,
I
make this
suppose
trash
I'll
ship
be back
canon
on
so
site.
people can shut up about it. I just want them to make Bumblebee canon so they can stop teasing Bumblebee.
Oh my god, yes. Just fucking run away, damn it.
We can't leave. Not like this.
It's like you said.
No.
A huntress is supposed to protect others to the bitter end.
Ugh. So fucking drenched in all that cheese.
I know, right?
It's almost
like
it's
that.
almost charming if it wasn't so like
ready to mask our ship.
ugh.
I think we can manage.
Mask our
Got
ship.
a few
You
ideas?
can't mask Bumblebee.
I've got one.
Eyes up, everybody.
Ruby doesn't have an aura. Blake and
It's
Yang
back.
don't have an aura.
Oh, cool. Crow is not being annoying this time.
They're not even
That's a
shooting.
change of pace.
Wait, they're just flying around. They're not even shooting each other.
Yeah, too much
Oh.
information. Why did you just swim underwater just to come out of water? I'm very
To
confused.
make this shot look cool, guys.
Look, they can do water physics.
The water is 3D now.
Aww.
Oh, it's the wall from the preview.
Yes!
Trump's wall.
It's yes.
It's Trump's
They
wall.
Keep this fine.
They finally built it.
Aw, I feel so bad for it. He's like, aw, I just want to get through, guys.
Come on, guys.
This
Oh
is
my gosh, it literally
Godzilla.
is Godzilla. It's its atomic fire breath.
I'm offended now.
Why do you just have the? Oh my god.
Godzilla 2014 the movie versus Godzilla the video game.
All forces, fall back to evacuation procedures. Disengage Leviathan. I repeat.
The music isn't that bad this time. The LSD
Yeah, I
actually standing out.
Like
I really
I said,
like it.
I like the orchestrational music that they do more than I like the rock music
I'm a
they do.
huntress.
Well,
My
even
team
then,
and
like,
I are heading to the
in terms of
Leviathan
that, like,
weaken
for
it,
me,
but
this,
you attack.
for so far, this episode and episode 6 were the only ones where it stood out to me as, like, exceptional. Everything else just felt really generic.
Yeah.
When I said trial by fire,
I did it at Beacon.
Oh yes,
and
they're
at the
doing it.
farm.
They're
You
doing
really
the
think you
Deus
can
Ex
do it now?
Machina. Even though it's not a Deus
I
Ex
don't have a
anymore, because
choice.
they've established it's a thing.
Yeah.
5-1, your ship is currently flagged as hostile. You will receive no support. Over.
Well, that's kind of dumb.
Fine. We'll do it alone if we have to. We can hit it while it stops at the next barrier. Ren, you're up.
The fucking touch. You got the touch.
That was
So,
actually kind of, that was neat though. I will admit that was like
Yeah.
a neat visual moment.
I just like the idea.
Now he's like, okay, gotta break this wall again. Okay, here we go, boys.
We're too late. Pull up.
oh
Why
shit.
would you drag it? Oh,
Damn.
Damn it. That's all I've got.
It's on the move again. We need to stop it. What do we do?
no shit, you gotta stop it.
Oh, I guess Blake's coat is just not a thing anymore.
She's gonna wear that thing as a pelt.
A fucking monster fight between giant dude giant armored dude in Kaiju.
Unfortunately, yes.
They gave Yang her old gun sounds back. I missed her like more like over the top.
No, they summoned the fucking bee.
You have to do this.
Why not the giant armored knight guy that can
Not
change sizes?
the bees.
Not the bees!
I want Nicolas Cage to show up in this show and just kill every Grimm. Oh, they're doing this, aren't they?
Ruby, hurry! Something.
They're ripping off Star Wars now. And they're totally ripping off Star Wars. Use the Force, Ruby. Oh, this is actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
the
that's
Pyrrha
cool.
bits.
That's
All right.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Oh, pity! Holy shit!
Oh my god.
That's actually powerful.
Oh!
That's
Now that's a
really
shot.
That's really
Great
good.
shot. That was a great shot.
That was good.
Oh!
Oh!
They are bringing back Jen as a Deus Ex Machina.
I'm sorry. I don't have a question for you. I just needed a little more time.
I know. And while you don't seek knowledge, just this once, I shall give it freely. I will not allow you to use me without a question again. Even if this was clever.
Wait, so she's not using the question?
She's not
that's kind of a
Doesn't count.
that's a dig
Free
tease
of
right there.
free of charge.
At least they're acknowledging, like, it's just a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
That was a clever thing to do.
I like this though. Like
I
the
like
fact
this a
that-
lot. I really
Yeah, they
do.
took-
It
yeah,
actually
they took-
feels nice.
They took scenes from the other volumes and redrew them. Like that's
That's
really
that's
good.
effort. That's actual effort. And I was very. I
Oh,
was
summer.
surprised.
Oh, we're actually bringing up summer now.
Holy shit! It's summer.
Oh.
Nice.
Now it's just Clash the Titans.
Yeah.
Someone needs to cut Ruby's head off in like the next volume. No, they need Oscar to like grow up, like cut Ruby's head off, and it could just be a Lollipop Chainsaw spin-off. Like he has her head in his belt.
Oh, it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work.
Well, it might have worked. It's still stuck there.
I mean, yeah, but
I'll take it from here.
She's got one arm.
One-armed robot.
After all, I was sworn to protect the people.
Oh man, I called it. They're gonna team up, and then it's gonna be all okay because they teamed up.
yeah.
This is so
No.
Gurren Lagann.
Yo, this one, I will say,
Straight up Gurren Lagann.
I will say,
God damn it, Miles penetrated another character.
Bro, they straight up just did that as like a callback to the Pyrrha death. You can't convince me otherwise. It's the same shtick. Dude, Cordova has like
Thank you.
got so much class right now.
I'm sorry.
Cordova's had class?
Military can handle the stragglers.
Dude, Cordova's like a sassy queen, bro. Get off
What
her
are you
back.
saying?
I'm saying I don't think anyone would notice if one more ship went missing in my lengthy report.
I called it.
We're all friends now.
I called
We're
it.
all friends now.
We're all friends. We're all friends now.
It's okay.
The cheese
Okay,
is real.
but can we talk about how much of a fucking waifu Summer is though? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like we actually saw summer. For
oh
the
wait,
first
so
time.
we
Should have just
wait,
about the old
so
Wait, that was it? Wait, so
And
now
we
what's
have
gonna
more-
happen?
we have
Now
more
I'm
than
actually
half. We have more than half the
that was
episode
one
left.
episode. I'm actually like interested now. What's gonna happen next?
Yeah, where are they going?
They're going to Atlas.
They just
There's still credits.
they all just die right.
Credits.
They all just die right
Oh
here.
man, the lighting effects on Ruby's hair right there were weird.
Today, Crow.
Yeah, these lighting effects are strange. On the hair.
I feel like they did all the heavy lifting.
But you were there to help when they asked for it. And you were there to catch them when they fell. Literally, if I recall.
That's debatable. He was kind of just falling all over the place.
Yeah.
Pro was really annoying this volume.
He was the weak link for me in terms of like characters who got completely wrecked. But on the one hand, that's not as many as last volume, so.
Yeah, true.
What do you fucking do?
I'm sorry you went through that nightmare, but I'm glad Yang was there for you in time.
Are they gonna do the Ren and Nora moment?
We were there for each other.
Just fucking say it's canon.
right out
Oh
of my
my
mouth.
god.
I know,
please.
for real. Stop dick teasing it. Just fucking say it or don't
Stop.
say it.
Hey, stop it.
You petrified a leviathan after diving down the barrel of a cannon.
Don't act like you
Ren,
haven't
you
done
want to do
crazy
another
stuff
take there,
before.
buddy?
I mean, Oscar made a successful crash landing. He's a 14-year-old farmhand.
That was seriously
Oh,
impressive.
he's 14. I thought he was 12.
No, he's 14.
Okay. I'm only 12.
Thanks, but I've been meaning to tell you guys. I didn't land the ship on my own.
Ospen.
No.
Ospen.
We're gonna crash! Stay calm.
God.
Okay.
Ospen took control?
No, he guided me. And then he was gone again.
Does that mean he's been watching us this whole time?
Like a
Oh,
bird.
here we.
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
It at least means he was looking out for us.
Hey, if you've never seen Atlas in person before, you don't want to miss this.
Oh shit,
Why is
Saber,
Peter
I
not
think.
come to the cockpit? Why is Weiss coming to the cockpit? She's
Weird that I'm sort of
She's
nervous.
from Atlas.
I know, right?
No, she probably just wants to see.
Well, believe it.
She just wants to see her home again. She
Whoa.
wants to just watch her friends see it.
It is literally fucking Angel Island from Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my god.
You know, you make the
I was thinking
trip
Cloud
over
City
and over
for
and
some
over.
reason.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is
no,
with all these
no,
Star
it's-
Wars metaphors, with all these Star Wars-isms.
no. It's,
It reminds-
it's literally Coruscant. The uppity people live up high, and like the
Place?
commoners live down below.
What is it?
Oh, I didn't even. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, okay. I didn't even see the city.
The
Whoa.
Atlas Air Fleet.
Oh yeah, they got the
Uh-oh.
whole city blockaded, or kingdom blockaded.
I knew all of our ships were called back, but
They're set up like they're expecting an attack.
Manta 5-1. Welcome home.
No. Oh, they were expecting. Like they were probably like expecting what? Wait, there's so much of this episode left. What the hell?
Credits, Stinger, and probably Genlock promos.
Just let the credits play, because I've got the recording going on a separate thing.
What?
Okay.
What? What? That's it?
I'm gonna turn this down and.
Are you kidding me?
That was. I mean, there were some good moments, but as a whole, that finale was kind of meh.
It's my problem with this entire volume. Every episode ends like right when it's like they do one good thing and like it's over now. It's like there's nothing.
They didn't let the Leviathan feel intimidating. They just like, oh, big Nessie Grimm, and then conclusion. They didn't have a build up to that finale.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so can I just say, fuck whoever started calling them the Crewbie. Because listen, it's one thing for the fans to call you the Crewbie, but when you start listing yourself as Crewbie in the credits, I am fucking dead. I cannot.
That doesn't bother me so much.
Listen, I always thought the Crewbie was just a fan term, but then it actually started becoming no, I'm sorry. That doesn't sit well with me. But can we talk about the ending though?
What was that?
It was like welcome. It was like welcome home. So it was like, welcome home. So were they expecting them? They were probably. you know what? Cordovan.
Yeah, I was
probably
gonna say
told them-
Cordovan told Atlas Command like, "Hey, a ship's coming in. You're gonna want to receive them because they got some shit to tell
Yeah.
you."
I'm low-key upset a bit.
Yeah, or she probably told them like, "Hey, a ship with white Schnee is coming.
Oh,
is
yeah,
coming
that.
in." And then they're like, "Oh, okay."
This felt like a 2-act story this felt like a 2-act episode. There's no third act. It just ended.
Well, it
just felt so inconclusive.
It felt
to me.
very similar to Volume 4's ending, where they fight the Big Grim, they make it to the destination, and then cliffhanger, and then we
I
got
think
the
Volume
stinger.
4's though felt less rushed.
Well,
I would say
because they actually let the Grim at least be intimidating. When it came to its actual fight, it was kind of a pushover.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I think we can all agree though. The scene where Ruby is like remembering shit, that was fucking great.
And the shot of her
did
looking
a lot
right
of good
at the
for this
thing's
episode,
mouth.
yes.
That was a really good shot.
Yeah, my favorite part. I got chills when like she started remembering like fucking when she started remembering
that thing,
Pyrrha
and I saw
and
like
Penny.
the drawing, and I was like, oh, that's fucking deep. That's good. That's great use of like what you have. Like instead of trying to like create bullshit memories, they're actually like they're like just using genuine memories but recreating them with effort. It felt very,
they straight up just took stills from volumes 1 to 3 and just redrew them and just drew over them. It was really cool.
Yeah, instead of just reuse the clips, it felt like
So Jin taught her how to use her Silverite powers, but didn't count the wish. Okay.
So one thing I also got from this episode is now we have all the elements of what we're going to do for the next volume. We're going to bring back Ozpin. Neo and Cinder are going to be more of a thing.
Tyrion and Watts are also going to Atlas, so...
Alright, let's speculate.
Yeah.
What's the teaser going to be? That's totally not going to matter because, the last teaser didn't matter.
What if it's just a sequel? And it's like, what if it's like Raven and Ty eating shawarma in their house, like the end of the Avengers?
I was going to say, if it's Tai Yang and Raven, then that will make the singer from the previous volume at least mean something. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get some team. What are they called? Witch.
Oh, I saw first members. I thought it said FRBT members. I'm like, holy shit, they're acknowledging Frostbite.
No, no. If they did acknowledge Team Frostbite and Ruby, it'd probably be like some really backhanded like
thanks, but also fuck you.
Yeah, like it's a thanks for being passionate about our show, but also a fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you made our job so much harder. Like it would be like a very sarcastic thank you, like, oh, thanks. Okay.
All right, what do we got? Oh, Salem.
Oh,
Witch.
Salem. Okay.
Emerald.
Mercury, I wanted to...
Of course we're not going to see it.
Oh my god, the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz.
That's what I was like thinking. Like she's the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh my gosh, why?
Fly, my pretties, fly, fly.
He's gonna take Zwei. They're gonna take Zwei. They're gonna take Zwei and do Wizard. So Star Wars was the big ripoff this volume. Now
Oh my
it's
god,
Wizard of Oz.
I can't fucking believe I just realized that.
There's an old saying. If you want something done,
Step on me, Hazel.
Do it yourself.
do it yourself.
Yep.
Alright, it only took 7 volumes to fight the main bad guy. Okay, so what I just realized. So the actual books for The Wizard of Oz, right? Like, not the movie.
Yeah.
So, in the actual book, it's... Because the whole book is like a metaphor for, like, the post-Reconstruction period. But, oh, fuck. Dorothy's slippers aren't red. They changed them to red because they'd show up better in the color. But in the actual book, they're silver.
Oh. They're totally doing Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that
Because
did
like,
too.
the Yellow Brick Road is a
here.
gold standard, and like her silver slippers protect her is like that's all references to like the gold standard and stuff. But yeah, I can't believe I just figured out. I just fucking figured out. It's all Wizard of Oz. It's the silver eyes is the silver slippers from Wizard of Oz.
So that means if we're doing Wizard of Oz, then we're gonna get a lot more focus on Ozpin in the next volume.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be like, don't pay attention to the man behind the. Oh my god.
Pay no attention to the man behind.
Pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Don't pay
Ozpin
attention
is
to the man
literally behind
inside the
curtain.
child. Don't pay attention to the man inside the little child.
Ew.
That's what it is, fam. I know how I see it.
That's funny.
Well, overall, I'd say that volume was. They had us in the first half, but
Yeah,
I
they
don't
totally
know.
had that fucking meme of they totally had us in the first half. Definitely applies.
I don't know. I think this volume was actually overall. This is the best post Monty volume they've done.
No, I'd still put volume 4 over this one. I'd still put volume 4 over this one.
I'd put volume. I would put volume 6. There's a lot of things in volume 6 that I enjoyed so much more than volumes 4 and 5. Like I straight up I'll be honest. I straight up just might like go and actually buy the soundtrack for volume 6.
First off,
like,
I don't think this is post. I think post Monty can extend to volume 3 as well. I think.
Well, no, Monty had his hands on volume 3 before he passed away.
Post Monty as in volumes where Monty had post volumes where Monty, Monty being dead when so he didn't work on them at all, like halfway or otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I would agree. I guess to an extent, I think this volume was not the worst. I don't know. For me, it might rank like my second favorite of the volumes of all time. But that's not saying much because the standards for the show are fucking like weird. Because like I still say volume 2 is my favorite because like even though it's not canon, in terms of just how it is constructed as like a story, I think that's where we like get a lot of like development for the characters overall. Whereas like with volume 1, we got like development for some characters and like hints for others. I think volume 2 really gave us a lot more to chew on, and then volume 3. The first half of volume 3, I got the tournament arcs I thought weren't that great. I didn't like those at all. And then the later half I thought was actually pretty good. But honestly, like the more I think about volume 3, the more it's like souring on me. And then in contrast, volume 4, like I don't love it. Again, this is the RWBY grading curve of loving it. But like I still think like it's not the worst volume. And volume 5, I will still stand by, no matter. You can convince me that any other volume in RWBY is a masterpiece. You can never convince me to like volume 5. It is the lowest moment in the show, and I don't think you can get any lower.
See, I with volumes 2 and 3, I feel like they have the opposite problems of each other. Like volume 2's buildup was good, but its climax was trash. Volume 3's buildup was trash, but its climax was really fucking good. Probably the best climax they've had for a volume, and it still stands because this climax was a little out of nowhere. Like I didn't feel it didn't have any build up to it. This is
why
happened.
I liked it a lot, because it reminds me of volume 2 where like the beginning parts were so great and then the like later parts are a bit weaker. And I mean, later I don't think it's like awful, but like I still think in comparison, like it's weaker towards the later half than it is towards the like beginning parts. So for me, the reason why I just kind of I think I greatly prefer this over volume 6 is that volume 4, for me anyway, after volume 3, volume 4 started kind of like
introducing like the really like volume 5's really the bad habits that volume 5 had. It's just volume 5 is when it came more to the forefront or whatever, because you still had, because even in volume 4, although albeit to a lesser extent than in volume 5, you still had the stupid exposition scenes, you still had really unnecessary genre focus, and also you had the fucking schizophrenic writing that the writing team has. And I feel, and that only got worse in volume 5, and so I feel with volume 6 they've corrected most of those issues. They still don't know how to do exposition scenes.
I disagree on the exposition point, because volume 4 still had good fight scenes. The Tyrion, Crow, and Ruby Ranger fight was good. The Knuckle fight, while underwhelming, was still enjoyable enough. And then you also had that fight with Blake and the sea serpent dragon thing. Like, there were good action scenes. The animation was good in volume 4. Volume 5 fell apart because of the production timeline that they had. They had poor time management, because when episode 1 aired, they were still working on the finale of that volume. So they kind of put themselves in a pinch on their own account, because they had poor time management and and the animators weren't coordinating with the storyboarders and all that other jazz. So the animators didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But would you say though that this volume fixed most of the problems people had with volume 5 though? Most of them. I feel like this volume did the bare minimum in terms of complaints I had. Like really, one of the biggest things that I wanted this volume to do, and I'm glad that they did it, was make Ruby feel like a main character. Yeah, they did do that.
She's not a smart main character, but she
feels like she has an importance to this plot, and that's mainly due to the way they use Silver Eyes, which is basically she's Luke Skywalker essentially.
Well, if your argument is for her not being smart is how reckless she is, like virtually every main antagonist that's like a kid or that aspiring hero, they do reckless shit, and I can forget that. Like I don't know why people were getting all riled up over her going down that barrel or whatever. Like, that's fucking badass. I don't care. It's reckless. Of course it's reckless. And I'm sure the writers acknowledge that it's reckless, but she was being a badass there, and that's kind of where I get a little salty towards the critics. I'm like, the main characters do stupid shit like that. That's part of being a main character. Like, get over it.
Skywalker refused to get orders in like the end of A New Hope when going to blow up the Death Star because he was trusting a ghost in his head.
Yeah,
like, that's beyond ridiculous. But he went for it because it's what he trusts. His senses trusted. Ruby's the exact same way. Again, the Star Wars parallels this volume are all over the fucking place, because we got like shit from like Empire Strikes Back with Ruby getting trained by Maria. We got
female Yoda.
New Hope we got a New Hope references. The ending with the big Grim. We got like we don't. I didn't notice any Return of the Jedi references because there were no little furry midgets. There were no
furry midgets.
There were no battlings.
Well, they're Ozpin's daughters.
Well, Ozpin did disappear like Yoda did, so that could signify something, I guess.
Well, Yoda didn't disappear so much as he like literally died and then became one with the Force.
I mean, he died, but like still, it's like he left with like yeah, you're right. It's more just the first two like OG Star Wars films. It's like they ripped off. Not ripped off, but they like, I wouldn't say ripped off because they didn't do like beat for beat. Like I was half expecting like there to be a scene where Ruby like goes in like a fucking forest and like recreates the Luke finding out he's his own worst villain scene. I was half expecting her to like fight like Salem and for Salem's face to blow up and it'd just be like Summer Rose or some shit. Like Ruby be like, oh, be so stupid.
Fun fact, I just realized this is that this has been the volume with the fewest Ozpin appearances.
It is.
Because he was only in episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then the finale.
And just kind of fucked off for the rest of the volume. Which I mean, I still stand by my statement that I said about volume the Ozpin's backstory when everyone's all angry, and I understand why everyone's angry at him because you don't have a plan to defeat Salem, but other than that, it really doesn't. Ozpin's backstory, because the way it's built up is that Ozpin makes it sound like he did some horrible shit in his life, like stuff that no man could ever, not even like the most notorious criminal could even comprehend, like stuff like that. But when you look at his backstory, it's just he slept with Salem. Like there's not. I still stand by the fact that while yes, the main characters have a reason to be angry, have a reason to be mad at Ozpin, and they're even arguably still mad at Ozpin, because when Oscar mentioned Ozpin, you could kind of see Yang start to like glare a little bit when he mentioned that Ozpin came back.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Ozpin's backstory really didn't do anything to really paint him as like this really hateable person. Like after that episode aired, I didn't feel any different about Ozpin than I did before the episode aired.
Again,
and I don't know if that, now we understand Salem's motivations, but it's like with Ozpin, I don't feel any different about Salem than I did before the episode initially aired. So I don't know. I appreciate I do appreciate we finally got Salem's backstory though.
And also on that note, because they showed Summer, I think we're going to get Summer backstory finally. I mean, it's too little too late, but we're finally getting it.
I have a feeling what they're doing now is they're addressing the biggest problem people have had, even fans of the show have had, but they've always are like expecting like the crew to like acknowledge or like do something about it, which is give RWBY more character.
Yeah.
And I think what they're doing now is they did Silver Eyes, but they're going to further explore that with Summer Rose, and they're going to keep exploring like these established things. And now, because Weiss didn't really do too much this volume, but now that she's in Atlas, she has something to do. Yang and Blake are now kind of a thing now, so Adam's dead or presumed. My worst fear is that Cinder and Neo are going to find Adam and pick him up, and they're going to rehabilitate him and just bring him along, and then just redo it all over again, which would be stupid. But Neo and Cinder are now actually going to be doing stuff in their badass new costumes. Which totally did not give me a major erection.
Their redesigns are fucking
They're sexy as hell. Like
yes.
My queens are back. They're here to slay people, and they aren't going to take they're taking no mercy. And now Maria's gonna probably die. Oscar might. I was wrong about Oscar dying.
Oscar was not going to die. I don't know who thought he was going to die, but no.
I thought he was
that was a pretty dumb theory. Like I'm like as long as Ozpin, as long as like the whole Ozpin conflict is still a thing, Oscar is not dying.
No.
Yeah, I thought of it just like because that dialogue he said where he's like, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna fight for as long as I'm necessary, and I was thinking like, okay, so that seemed like it was like foreshadowing to me. But then again, I shouldn't have expected genuinely good foreshadowing from Miles and fucking Carrie. So
no.
What was I expecting?
They don't do foreshadowing very well.
So things about speculation for the next volume. Are we going? So I know this is. I can only dream because they're my favorite. Because he's my favorite character. Are we gonna see my boy Flint Cole again? Please, because they're from Atlas. I know we're probably not.
Team Coco in Atlas?
No.
Or Coffee?
They're still in Beacon or whatever. They're dealing with that BS.
They're still in Vale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was what it was.
So I do think because Salem's now going to get involved, I get the feeling that Atlas might actually be the first kingdom to legitimately fall to her. I think they might go that route, or at least be severely damaged, where it's like, oh shit, the biggest military power in the world's been destroyed by this fucking Grim invasion, And then
they're probably
Crow and Winter are gonna. I think Crow or Winter are going to die next volume, and I would expect it to be Crow more so than Winter.
Yeah, I'm really excited now for what they might do next volume, because not necessarily what, like, you know, like in terms of quality, this was actually a pretty good volume. It needs work, obviously, but like it's a decent step in the right direction, and it's not like miserable to watch.
But it needs work can be said as RWBY as a whole, though. To be perfectly
I know,
honest.
but like what I'll say is that, you know, my biggest issue in terms of like, you know, like nothing like that like makes me hate it per se, but more or less something that's like I think just an obvious issue is that episodes feel way too short. It just seems like everything goes by way too fast. Well, on the one hand, that may be a problem if, like, you know, you're looking for a ton of content in one episode. On the other hand, it's very fast. I guess you could say it moves by pretty quickly, and unlike Volume 5, it's not miserable to sit through. So
the episode length has been an issue with this series since I would say since Volume 1. I would say since Volume 2, because Volume 1 they had the 2-parters, which was fine. But Volume 2, when they have like 12-minute episodes, it's like
but with Volume 1, you could give that. Well, Volume 1, you could give that. I feel like it's easy to excuse that in Volume 1 because that was the show's first season. The show was just starting. Because with RVB, like RVB's, you know, episodes to my understanding in the very beginning were very, very short. Like that, I think like 4 minutes. They didn't even eclipse like 5 minutes most of the time.
Well, RVB also didn't intend to go the direction it was meant to just be a bunch of comedy skits, but then they started making like a legitimately interesting world and whatnot. So they created this actual story and all that stuff. And that's where things just went fucking crazy.
Yeah,
for better and for worse.
Which only took 10 episodes to do, which each episode is only like 2 minutes long at the most. So literally the plot, if it was an actual series, the plot got rolling within the first episode.
Yeah. But I mean, I can also argue that even in the short episodes, as long as the quality of time is good, I can give short episodes a pass. But sometimes the quality of time is not in RWBY's favor because they do a lot of useless things.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, just in direct comparison to Volume 5 and even 4 to an extent, I think I felt like I was more entertained watching this than I was those previous ones. So on the one hand, it's making me less hesitant to watch Volume 7, and I think in terms of like I don't know if the fans are liking this as much as like, you know, like some are. Like I know a lot of people were mad about the episode 3 thing and the way they handled Ozpin and like Salem, but on the one hand, while that may be like, you know, somewhat of like a problem to them, I'm surprised that like people aren't as like, and you know, people like mad at Adam being stupid or dead or anything, but it's like to me it's like, well, that's dead and gone now. Like why don't you stop wanting it to be good and just move on and like like what we have, like try to make that good. That's what I'm confused by that.
Okay, so here I have two things to say. One of one of them about Adam and another about Summer Rose. So one thing that I feel like Adam's death really kind of showed, like, not trying to call anyone out here or anything, but it was like the RWBY, like the more critical side of the RWBY fandom. Let's be honest, y'all don't know what y'all want sometimes. Like y'all really don't. Like it's because it's like everyone was talking about how you know how dumb of a character Adam is. Oh my god, he's so awful. Just kill him already. This and that. And then they finally kill off Adam, and then presumably killed off Adam, and then they presumably kill off Adam, and then everyone's like, it was like, man, what a waste of a character. I can't believe that they wasted Adam's character. And I'm like, you wanted this guy to die not even a volume ago.
I'm glad that he's dead though.
I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. I think that people hate his character and like they realize that they wasted it. It's like it's both those things together. It's like they're lamenting the fact that like, man, like the character we got, I'm glad he died, but like what a fucking waste. What great potential he had that they fucking ruined to the point that the only way that The only way to redeem them was to kill him.
Okay,
See,
so
I don't know what any of y'all fools were talking
okay,
about.
so
with
it
that
might
shit.
be speculatory on the account of their end, but according to the RWBY wiki, Adam is confirmed deceased.
Cool. I don't care. I'm glad he's fucking dead.
To be fair, and that actually doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things.
No,
because other shows have done this. Like for example, the future arc for Danganronpa 3, it killed off like a fan favorite character at the end of the second episode, and everyone fucking lost their shit. And even on the wiki for Danganronpa, it listed this specific character as being deceased. But then at the beginning of the episode, they were like, ha 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 ha, fake tricked you. And
yeah, that's why I said speculatory.
Actually, this has been one of the bloodless volumes of recent.
Bloodless.
Yeah, there hasn't. There hasn't been a lot of.
It's been.
As in, like,
I can recount the amount of death scenes that were even on my one hand, like the dead parents, the Adam slaughtering all of the White Fang.
Named
Maria getting her eyes cut out, Adam getting stabbed twice.
Shit, even that Irish lady with the teeth who just got fucking siphoned in the spine, like that shit was.
And she got decapitated.
We didn't get the bloodbath of previously established named characters that everyone was saying would happen every 3 volumes, or theorizing would happen every 3 volumes.
I think now I can guess it'll happen in volume 7.
Everyone else was new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like now with volume 7, they're gonna go in the more like Infinity Wars route in terms of how they're gonna approach the characters, and I think in terms of like the elements or visual elements they're gonna rip off, it's still, I think, Wizard of Oz. I think we made that pretty obvious.
It's gonna have.
Ruby Rose's name is Ruby, so she has the ruby slippers and the silver eyes slippers at the same time. And Salem's gonna be riding in Wicked Witch of the West style on her fucking flying, goddamn.
If that actually happens, I will, like, if she comes in like on like the broom, I will absolutely, I will die.
The coward who's dead. We have the Tin Man.
The cowardly, yeah, like we have
the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, the Wizard of Oz. I guess who's left? The Scarecrow. So Vacuum's headmaster is like fucking a scarecrow, is like brainless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I can say is that, like, compared to Volume 5, where it's like I didn't know where they could go with this, I was never excited for Volume 6. Like, even through the trailers, I was a little surprised that there was action in the trailers at all, but I was like, I don't know what they could do with this. But now I'm at a point where, like, at least I'm excited. Again, the RWBY standard of me being excited is just me, like, watching to see if the show can get any better. And I think I have a bit more faith now, because it seems like they know where. I feel like I know where they are going to play their elements, and even though that may sound like a bad thing because it's predictable, at least I can kind of see, like, where they might put their pieces, and I feel like they could probably squeeze a lot of potential out of it.
So I'm sorry, Henry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay, you're good.
This was, if I wanted, so as I've stated before, in group calls outside of this one, that watching RWBY is like playing a David Cage game, and if that's the case, then this is the Detroit Become Human of, well, not even necessarily Detroit Become Human, but this is a David Cage game that doesn't crash and burn nearly as hard as the others.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we can all agree there was a point, even though some of us enjoyed this volume, some of us didn't. I think we can all agree that there is a noticeable point where the quality and just kind of dipped.
It started dropping off for me around.
Yeah.
Again, I've said this before. Argus is essentially the key of quality drop off. Like, once they get to Argus, I think that's when, like, it started dipping back.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I think the show I've learned is horrible at doing, is staying in one location. That's why when people say it should have been a high school show, I'm like, thinking to myself, like, if they had to stay in that high school, like with the writing power that they have, they wouldn't know what to do with it. That literally they're so sporadic with how they like make stuff interesting. They literally have to keep location jumping. Because I mean that's what made this volume like stick out to me. It was so scatterbrained, but like it was entertainingly scatterbrained, and it made me realize that Miles and Carrie, I think, are just better when they can just throw in ideas and like loosely connect them, like Alex Kurtzman, Robert Orsi script, where it's like we're just gonna go here now and do this, and it's gonna loosely connect to this, instead of like using a location, building like a theme overall. It's like it's basic screenwriting, and I think that's what they're. It's the strong suit of the show, because that way you can see like all these beautiful locations, beautiful in parentheses obviously, but you get all like these at least somewhat creative places. Whereas if they stay in one location, they can't deep in terms of narrative. They cannot like take anything too deep. The deepest they can get is like a character dies or there's a minor dilemma. But with visuals, they can pretty much they're pretty much better at that. Even if they are ripping off stuff, they can at least bring like they can just throw shit at the screen and be like, look, entertainment. That's what they're best at doing right now. So I mean, that's why I'm a little concerned a bit also with Volume 7, because like if we're just gonna stay in Atlas, that means we're staying in one location.
And you know, it's actually So it's actually interesting that you brought that up, because I think that in terms of like, so Volume 5, because I actually went back and rewatched Volume 5 last night. I suffered.
You're a madman.
I know, and I noticed with Volume 5, there was a noticeable lack of just energy with Volume 5, and I know it's weird to say in something like an animation medium where it's like live action, like film or stage play, where you can tell if the energy is up or if the energy is noticeably down. Just everything about Volume 5 just felt so like it felt so like yeah, we're doing this, guys. Yeah, we're it's RWBY Volume 5. Ooh, like it's it really didn't feel very energetic. What this volume, and that's one thing that I feel like this volume fixes, is that there's a lot more. I feel like they had a lot more fun with this volume.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but like as dumb as the mech fight was, like
you can tell they really had fun doing that.
They really, like, the animators had fun. I'm pretty sure the storyboarders, Miles and Carrie, had fun, like coming up with the fact that it's literally like a video game boss fight, and I love that. You know, yeah. I love the scene where RWBY is running on missiles and like slides down a fucking ice, like, and it sounds like a fucking ice half pipe.
No, and I like that scene where like she just jumps inside of the cannon, like puts the scythe down, and like everyone's like, "Oh my god, you put it, the cannon's exposed," and like I can tell like the animators and probably like Miles and Carrie were like getting around like giddy about that, because it was like this is gonna be so cool, and like you can tell they cared a lot more about like the scenes they like had to like they decided to do, and like even down to like the stuff they like ripped. I'm honest, I don't want to keep saying ripped off, but because like I feel like that's just like way too blatant. Like the stuff that they mirrored, that were blatant, per se. The stuff that they paralleled. Yeah, they borrowed or paralleled. Like you could tell they did a lot better with it. Like the way they used the kind of Star Wars like RWBY used the Force with the Silver Eyes thing. You can tell they actually used it in a way that, one, at least benefited the story they were telling, and two, they managed to create probably one of the better scenes in the entire show out of it, if I do say so myself. Obviously, it only works with the context, but even then, the scene by itself is still pretty solid and gets the point across. It just is enhanced with context, and it's just something that I thought was very because I never would have thought they would have bothered hand drawing scenes and using that for RWBY in that.
That was
sequence.
yeah,
that was a
really,
very well done sequence.
That was great. I will say this though. I initially thought that like the artwork was like something that was used in like Blaze Blue cross tag battle, because I'm like, this looks just like the art for Blaze Blue. Like they kind of look like the sprites, and I'm pretty sure like for Blaze Blue they got like the actual artist. They got the actual artist to come in and like draw the sprites that they based their sprites off of, but that's an entirely different topic. So Summer Rose, and this is a nitpick. Well, I guess you could, I don't know if you count this as a nitpick or not, but so technically they did address Ruby and being Ruby and Summer Rose and Red Like Roses Part 2, but that song isn't canon, lol.
Don't let Soriel hear you say that.
Huh?
So don't let Soriel hear you say that.
Oh, fight me. Just kidding.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording because it's been going on for a while. So thank you guys for joining me for the reaction. Presumably we're going to, I guess, do the Genlock one here in a bit, unless nobody cares to watch that.